G'day guys, it's James Cross back for another podcast of South Island AU. Let's go. Today's guest, don't really know the bloke too much, but we just thought we'd link up and make a podcast. I know his first name, Mark. I don't know the nickname. Is it Horizon or how do you? I can't even ever. I'm shocking with names.
Nah, you wouldn't be the first one, bro. It's Hozri.
Hozri, sorry. And where's that from?
So that's my last name. My last name is Hozri with an S, but my branding is Hozri with a Z. And people just call me Hozri. They don't really call me Mark.
Okay, Hozri.
Yeah.
Is that right,
Yeah.
Hozri?
Yeah, Hozri.
Okay,
good, yeah.
cool. I just want to make sure I'm saying it right and not wrong the whole podcast. And then next minute you're sending me a message saying, "Oh, you're a bit of a fuckwit." So
We gotta re-record it all.
you're from Melbourne, eh?
Yeah, man. I'm from Melbourne. I went to the Gary V event in Melbourne as well, so it was good.
Yeah, nice, bro. Are you city in Melbourne or?
Oh, I'm northern suburbs. The shitbox place.
Well, I'm coming up next week to Melbourne for grand final weekend, so I'm going to be around the town. Hopefully the Pies make it, but we'll see what happens. I'm from Launceston, brother, as well. So, have you been to Tassie before? No.
Nah, I don't really know the suburbs down there. No.
No, well, I'm from a decent area, Kings Meadows. I've got two properties that I live at, like mum and dad's, but then just got a little older rental apartment. I've got like an upstairs bit, what's pretty sweet as well. So got some pretty good housemates and things like that. It makes life a lot easier. So,
100%.
being from
investment properties or
nah, not yet investment. Went traveling around the States like America last year and Canada. Lived overseas a bit. Been all around Australia and stuff. Definitely working towards investment probably next year as well. I think it's important to buy a property. The market obviously has gone through the roof, so it makes it a lot harder now. Are you trying to buy as well, are you?
Yeah, I'm looking for land right now. I'm trying to close in on one. Hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, I would have purchased one and I'm going to build on it.
Oh, congrats, bro. That's really exciting.
Thank you.
Let's go on. We've talked about being from Melbourne and stuff. Let's tell everyone a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Mark. People call me Hozri. I'm a content creator, social media manager, and I also manage my dad's chauffeur business. So I do a little bit of everything. I've done food reviews, social media reviews. I make my own, podcast. I have my own podcast, which has been on and off for a while. I've run a few businesses in Melbourne. The most notable was Shisha at Your Door, which was when we'd bring shishas to people's houses and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just an entrepreneur all around.
So Shisha business, would you say you're involved in it still? Or?
So I own Shisha at Your Door, the company. I own it in total, but me and the person I started it with split off, and I just took the rest of it. I still own it, but it's not functional. I still get calls every day for it, messages. It's ridiculous. Like, people would never forget it.
Shisha was a massive thing through COVID too, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. Especially because we're delivering it to people's houses, so they didn't have to break COVID rules to come out and do it. And I remember when I first started it, I was so scared to invest in it. It was my first business that I was invest my savings into. And my dad came up to me and he said, "Listen, if you want to be an actual business owner, you have to take a risk." And that was the first time I ever understood it. I was at the start of understanding what it meant to be a business owner. And he helped me, but I invested $500, which was pretty much all I had at the time. And my dad put on an extra 200, and we made that all back within 3-4 weeks. So
that's crazy, man. And how old were you?
So, age is hard. So I'm 22 now. I reckon it was about 3 or 4 years ago. It could be more, but it feels like such a significant part of my life. It doesn't feel like I was that young. So I would honestly say 17, 18. I was still on red peas. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so confused about Victorian. Everywhere's got different licensing rules and things. It's so confusing. So I don't even ask a question about trying to keep up with that type of stuff as well. But yeah, being on being a business owner at that age would have taught you a lot of, skills that you'd take into what you do now.
Yeah, I mean, what had happened is I had come up with the idea. We were all sitting there smoking shisha at a lounge, right? and I had come up with the idea because I had come from Lebanon, where the idea is very popular. And businesses work like this. You could take an idea from an international place and put it in Australia, and it's never been done before. So we're all sitting around smoking shisha, and we said, "What if we did this?" And everyone at the table laughed, except this one other guy, and me and that other guy connected. And then other people started jumping in, and they're like, "Okay, it's actually getting traction." And we didn't do any marketing. We didn't have money for marketing, nothing. We were doing memes on Facebook, and our first ever announcement post got 60,000 views. So that was ridiculous. And so we sold out week after week, but my profit margin was so bad because it was my first time starting business. I didn't really know anything. I didn't understand what profit was, bro. I thought sales meant money. It doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, so my profit margin did not reflect how much we were selling, but we were selling out so much that like we would sell for the first half of the day, go collect the shisha, then sell it again at the latter part of the day, and like it was ridiculous. But I think the biggest thing I learned about business is everyone's gonna doubt you until it does well, and when it does well, everyone wants a percentage of it, and it's fucking ridiculous because the same people that were laughing at that table were the same people that wanted the money from it when it started to do well, which I thought was crazy to watch. But now I know it very well. It does happen.
Are you still mates with all those people at the same table, or
No, none of
nah?
them.
See you
I'm,
later. Yeah.
yeah, I'm throwing indirect shade at them, but no, I wish them all the best. But you know what, man? There are lots of people who claim to be entrepreneurs, claim they want to run their own business, but don't want to take the sacrifices that come with it. They're like too scared to take risks, too scared to invest their money. And so some people are just made for 9 to 5s, and some people are made for business. I know myself, I would rather die than work for someone for the rest of my life. That's straight up. Like, I'm gonna work hard to the point where it's either I die on the way or I make it. That's it. Like, there's no like in between for me.
Yeah, fair call. I think that's you've spoken very well there, man. That's why you're an entrepreneur, I guess, and you come across like you've got a good head on your shoulders for a 22-year-old. Seem like you're a lot more mature than when I was 22. That's for sure.
How old are you, bro? Because you know what? Like, for everyone watching, this is actually the first time we're speaking face to face. This isn't just like.
I know it's crazy. I'm 28 now. I turned 28 in July. I kind of had a midlife crisis and wanted to go traveling for a bit. So I think it's good to go find your journey and where you want to go in life. We're all on different wavelengths and things like that. It takes time, and you can't really put till someone does what they want to do, you can't really, I guess, look at, I don't know how to say it, but you got me tongue tied now. But yeah, like we're all on different journeys, and we all find what we want in life in different times. Don't put deadlines on things. When you're older, you might think of a new idea and you might want to go down that path as well. But it's important to do what you think's right at the right time as well.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I think everyone finds their journey one way or another. Some people find it through traveling. Some people find it through pain. Everyone finds it eventually, though.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
With going on about the shisha as well, I know you said your profit margins were terrible. Did you ever think of going on Shark Tank?
Well, look, I actually like it would have been an idea. Look, to be completely honest, and I've never said this on a podcast before, but I don't actually think that business was legal, to be honest. Like, I think I needed a tobacco license. So, I don't know. So that was like a massive setback for me because I actually didn't do the proper like research for it. But the thing is, man, when you're starting a business, there's so many things to consider that if you consider them all, you'll never start it. You know what I mean? So I just got straight into it and dealt with everything else after. But I bet if I went on Shark Tank, they would have stole the idea, not paid me. They would have just taken it.
Just taking a cheeky cut, 50%.
Yeah.
No, you're right though. If you always were thinking about starting a business and all the things that you have to learn as you're going as well, you wouldn't do it. Like, it's about just going through doing it and then learning as you go as well. I think that's a very important thing. There's so much to learn. Even like every day you kind of learn something new, something you should do with like your audio, just in speaking to people, what type of apps you should use, what type of just everything like that you don't really consider when you just got the idea and throw something out there. It's so broad, isn't it, bro?
100%, bro. And I think, the main thing is that every time someone talks to me about starting a business, because a lot of people see that I turned my interests into my business, like I was a professional gamer, gaming was my passion. I made money off it by being a professional gamer when I was younger. And then I did it with Shisha. And so, like, people see that I turned my interests into making money out of it. And they ask how, and then I ask them what's their interest, and then they make like 25 excuses of why they can't turn it into a passion, right? Like, someone called me the other day, they're like, oh yeah, I want to start a babysitting business, right? And I'm like, awesome, why haven't you? They're like, oh, the tax. And I'm like, why are you thinking about the tax before you've even made money? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that people, like, they take business as if they don't take it of doing anything else in life. Like, for example, when you ride a bike, do you think about getting hurt before you get on it? No, you get on it and then you deal with it after you've been hurt, right? You don't, like, imagine, oh, how am I going to climb up the hill with this bike? You ride over the hill and then you slowly learn. It's the same with business, man. You got to take off, like, you got to ride with your training wheels on for a bit and slowly they come off. It's painful, don't get me wrong. You lose money, you lose friends, you lose a lot, but it's worth it. And that's the only way to learn, I think. I don't think no bachelor's, no business courses you could do online from Udemy or any of those, they're not going to set you up anyway until you actually do it yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I can't agree with you more. You, like, the way you speak, bro, is just so passionate. I love it. Like, so enthusiastic. Every time you've got me, every time you speak, I don't feel I can't articulate as well as you, but like, you just come across like a very humble, very confident, very motivated, kind of know what you want and stuff like that. I think that's an important thing when going through a business too, being confident, fake it kind of till you can make it as well. Dream big too, but obviously it's good to dream big because then you know what you want to be as well, isn't it?
For sure, for sure. And I think, the confidence comes from the fact that I know what I want and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks on the way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so driven that, like, I heard a quote when I was younger and it really woke me up to stuff because I was trying out so many different things. When you want something as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll get it. And that's where I am at this point. Like, I want it so bad I'm willing to sacrifice everything for it. But yeah, 100%. I think you just got to be confident in what you're saying. Like, you got to actually mean what you say and do what you want to actually do.
And tell us about like small business problems, like where they go wrong and things like that from your point of view.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, back in the days, social media wasn't around, right? So people would have to pay on billboards or newspapers, and that would be like a marketing fund. You have to set aside a marketing fund to ever get your name out, right? Or you'd have to pay milk bars to put your cards on their shelves or things like that. Nowadays, things have changed, man. Nowadays, you could reach more people from a little shitty reel in your little shitty home than you would on a billboard, right? Instagram reels, TikTok, Facebook reels, all these things is free marketing. People don't understand the ROI of how good these things are. You are literally spending 5 seconds of your day for 3,000 people to see your product. And then they're going to say, oh, the algorithm and ghost ban and stuff. But doesn't everything free have conditions, right? Social media is free. Like, people don't actually comprehend. They just complain, right? It's too hard to make videos. I don't have the camera for it. I don't have the time. I'm not confident in front of the camera, but it's free. So why wouldn't you? What's your other option? If you're broke starting a business and you have no marketing because you've invested all your money into the product, what else are you going to do? And it's the right thing to do. It's how you're going to take a market share from the bigger companies. So if the biggest problem with small business owners right now is they don't take opportunities. They fail to identify opportunities in front of them. And 99% of the reason is fear. 99% of the reason. Like, they are genuinely scared of how the product's going to look in the end. They're scared of how they're going to look on camera. They're scared someone's going to comment on the video not liking it. And most of fucking all, they're scared of not looking professional. No one cares if you're looking professional or not if you're making no fucking money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're the most professional, like, your Instagram grid looks amazing, but you're making no money. No one cares, you know?
Do you think that's a generational thing too? Like, with a lot of the business owners now, even small, they're like at that 40, 50 years age and they've never really used that social media platforms and things like that. Would you say that's an issue for people as well? They're just not confident. And what do we call them in Australia? The old timers? What's that saying? The dinosaurs?
Boomers.
Boomers, that's the one. Not dinosaurs. That's before that. Um,
But
but yeah,
look,
boomers. Yeah.
I think both business owners have problems. Young business owners want things too quick and they can't wait for it. Old business owners have things and they don't know how to upgrade it. That's where the two. Now, you could actually learn if you kind of set yourself aside from both and learn the problems of both, you'll become an amazing business owner. So when you're old, you're used to your old ways because it made you money. It didn't make you the money that you wanted, but it made you money to stay afloat and you're too scared to go more. Whereas then you have the other people, they take that initial risk because they're young and they know they're young, but then they're too like they want things too quick. They're like, all right, I sacrificed 1 year of my life for business. I deserve $1 million for that year. Whereas then you have the other business owners, they've been working for 50, 60 years and they haven't even made their first mil. Do you see what I mean? So both business owners have the problems. I think the number one problem that's common in both of them is fear, 100%. Everyone is fearful of everything, man.
Oh,
Like,
the unknown. People are scared of the unknown 100%, like all the
yeah,
time. Yeah. And just taking that chance as well. People are so scared.
I think just leaning into curiosity, not everything you do or you're planning to do has to have an exact outcome that will happen. What if it's like an 80% chance will happen? What if it's a 60% chance will happen? But at least you could die knowing that you tried rather than living with fear.
We've got to sometimes do things 5 times terribly or whatever, or 5 or 6 times. And then that one time that we do it again, that seventh time, a good thing happens and it's a game changer. You know what I mean? Just for an example, it could be 100 times. And then that 101st time you've done something new and you've changed the way your business runs or just, your system or whatever, and it's more efficient and it's, that 101st, even if, it could just be a random number, but you've got to try to be able to succeed as well. If you stop trying, you will just fail and you'll,
100.
yeah, and you'll just crumble and that's the end of you as well.
But people will listen to that and they'll say, I tried. I put $100 into Facebook ads. Well, people are putting thousands and not making money and then making money the next month. Like, the thing is, man, everyone is just so entitled. We're all so entitled. We want everyone to watch our stuff. We want everyone to buy our product, our service. But what are we actually doing for them? You know what I mean? Like if every single part of your business is focused on you making money and your comfortability and you not taking sacrifice, then what's in it for the consumer? You know? And it's just crazy to me. Like, we're in the most oversaturated market and people will start a small business selling candles and they'll expect to make sales in the first week. Bro, there's a candle shop across the road from you that's selling 100 times more than you. Why do you deserve that? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy entitlement, man. Honestly, crazy entitlement.
And what going off, businesses and small businesses, what other businesses have you got at the moment? Like currently,
So,
what are you in now?
yeah, so I have Hozri social media services, which I haven't actually opened to the public. I don't have a website for it or anything like that. I actually got subcontracted by a bigger social media agency who subcontracts me the work, and I've just been doing work from them. And I also run my dad's chauffeur business, which was originally Valet Limos, and I rebranded it to Chauffeur Drive. And the reason is because we wanted to capitalize on an area in the market that's not like been done before, and it's like accessibility. So we created an iPhone app that allows you to book a chauffeur from anywhere in Melbourne, just like you would book through an Uber. So
So,
no like pre-fees, no pre-setup, not needing to talk to anyone. Literally just a few clicks on your phone, and you could book a chauffeur, which has never been done before in Australia.
so that's currently live now,
Yep, that's live right now. Yep.
and it's free to download. So me coming to Melbourne next week, if I book
Yeah.
that at the airport, there'll be a luxury car come pick me up.
100%. So a luxury V200 Mercedes, V250, sorry, Mercedes will come. Chauffeur and everything. They'll open the door for you. They'll stand outside with your name. They'll check your airport flights to check, whether your flights will be late, whether your flight will be early. It is a real chauffeur service for a good price, man. Like, yeah, of course, it's a bit pricey because, you're getting luxury. You're not paying for like a shitty little Uber. You know the driver. You know when it's coming. You could track the car on the app, and it's never been done before. There's no pre-booking fees, nothing like that.
And how long's that been going for now?
So I think we started it about a month ago. Right now, my dad's been caught up with like a lot of his own work. So we've actually had to knock back some work, but slowly we've been starting to get some work, and we have a few advertisements that we've recorded that are coming out soon. But yeah, it's something where the more people that know about it, the more it'll convert. You know what I mean? And right now, we haven't done enough marketing for it, and I know that when we do and we target the right audience, it's gonna reach the audience that we want for sure.
That's very cool though to help your dad out as well. You know, you and
Yeah.
your dad do something together. Are you quite close, you and your dad then?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I learned growing up. I had lots of friends growing up. I was really popular. None of that shit matters, man. It's only family. Like, family is the only thing that matters. I'm really close with my mom and dad. Like, my whole life goal is to put them on. That's literally my goal, man. I wanna put them on. I wanna retire them like young. That's my 100% absolute goal, and I wanna help others along the way. Because I came from a place where I didn't have that passion, and I neglected family a lot. So like if I can do it and I can show people that I did it, then I know people will value their family more. And time's so precious, man. Time is just so precious. And yeah, so being able to help my dad has been my dream since I was young. I asked him if I could be a chauffeur for him. He said fuck no. I asked him if I could be his social media manager, and he said all right, I'll let you have a go and take me full time. So yeah, no, it feels amazing, man.
It's pretty funny that are you a bad driver? Have you had a few accidents in Melbourne or?
Look. I don't want to talk. I don't
No,
want
no,
to
I'm
talk.
joking. Yeah, no, it's all good. Maybe
No, no,
that.
I'm a decent driver, but you gotta understand these cars are worth 600-700K. I mean, it's a bit scary for him. I understand.
Nah, that's very fair from your dad as well. You
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't want to be driving those 600-700K cars around for hours and hours as well. I'd be probably a bit scared as well from drop. And social media marketing is somewhere that you're passionate about and want to get bigger in and things like that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, man. And I think, my dad's really proud of what I've done. He's not proud that I dropped out of uni to do it. But it's like I said, I have my goals and I don't listen to anyone even if I love them. I love my mom and dad and I respect their opinion, but at the end of the day, it's my life that I'm living, and I know I can do better through this, something that I'm passionate about, something I can speak about confidently, than studying law my whole life just so my parents could tell everyone they have a son who's a lawyer. I honestly don't care, bro. Like it just doesn't bother me, you know?
And
But yeah,
like,
I'm very close with my dad.
yeah, like you said too, I'm the same. Family's really important to me as well. It's one of the most important things in my life. You know,
For
it's
sure.
better to have a close inner circle than have a massive circle where you've just got lots of friends and things like that as well.
Yeah.
Um, I could count my friends on my hand, but I could count my family like in, heaps. I've got heaps of family, and
Mm,
they're the ones that are there for you the most when you fall, and fall the
yeah.
hardest as well. And when they fall too, you want to be there to help them out as well.
For sure, man. And on this topic of family, like I'm very blessed. Like, man, I got so lucky with my parents who have looked after me since I was young. And I don't mean like financially. Like, I grew up struggling financially. But as parents, mentally, support wise, like confidence, like good thoughts into my head, I was blessed with both my mum and dad, and it makes me very grateful for it, but it also makes me empathetic to the people that don't have that, because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the time if they have negative self-talk, it's usually coming from someone else, because we actually love ourselves. I think naturally humans love themselves. Humans can be confident. Humans are naturally like good strong people, but then it's outside voices that we allowed to penetrate that. And I couldn't deal if my own mum was against me, and I know some people do. So I'm like really empathetic to that, because it is hard, man. It is hard. I think, like you said, we're both blessed with good families, I think.
Yeah, and being there for the families, like we were saying, when they're going through hard times and things, is really important. And then they're going to be there for you, like we just kept going on about as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think people let the negative noise affect them too much, and then they bring it into their family, and then it causes a ripple as well, and just keeps going and going.
Exactly.
Sometimes we just got to block out that noise and you know just keep going as well. Sometimes it's good to have a bit of like to know that negative noise as well, a little, not to say bring it in, but to know like you don't want to be like that as well. You know,
Yeah.
if it's always just positive and positive, positive, like when something does happen, you won't know how to control that as well. So it's good, it's good to have those people, but you don't want to have them around all the time.
For sure. I think it's an issue of self-awareness, right? Like it's not like, if you have a bad family, you're stuck. You're going to be negative, you're going to be depressed for the rest of your life. No. I definitely think there's a way out. I feel hypocritical speaking about it because I'm not in that position. But, there's always the story of the dad who was a criminal. I don't know if you've heard it. Like the dad who was a criminal and he had two sons. One followed in the line and became an even bigger criminal, and the other son became a lawyer who prosecuted criminals, right? And it really comes down to being self-aware. Once you know that the negativity is there, you have to pull to other sources, like, online, listening to motivational stuff, changing your friend group, things like that. And I think it comes down to limiting negativity, you know? And I definitely think it's possible. It's harder, but for sure it's possible.
We'll get off that topic for a bit.
Yeah.
Let's go into YouTube for you. Starting your YouTube channel up and things like that. How do you do that?
So my YouTube channel started in my old media company, which was Zorus Media. So my businesses went like this. I started Shisha at Your Door with this guy. Then I started Zorus Media as well with this guy. And then we split off after Zorus Media. And then I went by myself. I got my own agency that subcontracted me. And he went off and did non-entrepreneurial stuff. So if you look at my YouTube right now, you'll still see all the old Zorus Media podcasts and stuff like that. And then nowadays I'm hosting my own podcast. I don't really have a name for it, but I was thinking Out of Pocket because I'm a bit of an out of pocket person. But yeah, we just posted the first few episodes. Sometimes I do vlogs as well. I try my best to do them. But essentially YouTube is for my longer form content for people that actually want to get like the raw, unfiltered version of me. But yeah, I started it so I could post longer form content because I'm better on that than I am on short form content.
So that's all your YouTube video. And is your podcast weekly or is it monthly or how do you do it?
It's whenever I find the time.
Yeah, it's hard to find the time to be able to do all those type of things as well, especially when you got your foot in so many avenues as well.
For sure,
Or
for sure. And
your feet, I mean, or what I don't know the same, but yeah,
no, I know
yeah, cool.
you got your hands in a lot of pies.
Correct. Yeah.
But that's honestly like I try to be self-aware and conscious of my like weaknesses, and that's one of my weaknesses that I find it hard to stick to one thing because I have so many interests, man, and it's crazy, and I love all of them equally. So yeah, so podcasting is something that I like. But of course, we have to be like honest that podcasting doesn't make money the same way a business would that you're providing a service, right? Right now, we're providing a service to people. They listen to us. We don't make direct money off it though. We do it because we actually like talking. We enjoy the thing. So I think it's something that you have to consider when you're putting in time. But for me, I don't do it for the money. I love these types of conversations. They feed my soul, man. And I don't value money too much. I really don't. So yeah.
That's a good way to look at it as well. You do it for enjoyment, you love things like that. If you do that, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to do better and show that you're passionate. People are going to, be attracted to that as well. So
sure.
if you only do it for the money, people can eventually see right through you at the start. It might not be they can see through you straight away, but they'll soon find out that you're not doing it for the right reasons and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. The reason I mentioned it is not to say that, this podcast doesn't make me money, it's a waste of time. More so because people watch videos and they hear like people advising business owners make a podcast. And then they make a podcast and expect to make 5 sales off their first. No, don't make a podcast if you're not happy with talking. Don't make a podcast if you don't enjoy deep conversations. Don't do it. It's not something that you just make and you make money off it. Doesn't mean in the future that podcasts don't make money. They do. You can do brand deals, and the branding of yourself actually goes a long way on a podcast because they get a more deeper or authentic version. But you cannot do this if you don't like it. It's not possible. So like, I feel like I got to be realistic with the viewers when they're considering starting their own.
No, totally. And also like being consistent with your podcast too is very important. There was a time where I started and I only did it earlier this year because I was I'm just going to test it out, test the market. I didn't have the best equipment, but I was just fuck it. I'm just going to give it a crack. do it.
Yeah.
And I just get, but then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to invest in a bit of equipment. You know, like you said, do that. You've got to invest in yourself to make something happen a little bit too. You can't just expect things to happen. And like people were saying to me, like not haters or so, they were like, oh, you need to improve your audio. I was like, well, first of all, my first step to doing a podcast was just getting out there and talking. And it could have been so shit, and it might be shit to a lot of people, but even if it hits that 1%, and eventually I get better at talking and things like that, and then I enjoy it as well, and I get to interact with cool people, different people from all different walks of life, and I like learning new stories. I like learning new information. I think that's one of the things that's really driven me into it. You know, I didn't think I would, like, I didn't know how it would take me. Like when I first did, I was like, oh fuck, I might not do it ever again, but fuck it, let's just try it out. And now it's like it's addictive. You know what I mean? It's kind of, it's definitely my happy place. Other than my main job at the moment is just going out and doing things like this, and then spending a little bit of time, like not a little bit of time, but spending a bit of time, you know, managing it. I find it's kind of, for me, it's like my happy place and my zen time as well.
It's therapeutic, man. It's almost like counseling, but like with yourself. It's crazy. Like you find out more about yourself as much as you find out about the other person, but you also find out more about yourself. And I could tell that you genuinely got this in you. Like you are a genuine podcaster, you know, like fucking great podcast host, honestly.
No, I appreciate it. And it's only going to get better. And I've got good people around as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about surrounding yourself with good people, and, you know, asking people for feedback and things like that, and not listening to people that are like, you know, negatives, you know, talkers. Because at the end of the day, they're not doing jack shit with their life. So,
100%.
yeah, like
Yeah, bro. I mean, think about it this way, bro. Sports is made up of two things: the athletes and the haters. The haters are the ones that sit on the stands eating their hot dogs, screaming at the athletes, and the athletes are the ones that put in the work. Which one is more? You know what I mean? It's the exact same with business, bro. People are on the sidelines taking 5 minutes out of their day to comment on your video saying it's shit. Where are they in life, bro? How dark do you have to be in life to comment on someone trying to make better of their life while your life sucks? You know, anyone that has a good life would not take time out of their day to do that. You know, so you just feel sorry for them at the end of the day. Bro, heaps of people give me shit for what I do. Heaps of people think what I do is extremely embarrassing, and I've really pushed myself to the absolute limit to the point where I cringe at myself. But then I look at their life and I'm like, damn, bro, like you took time out of that. What are you investing your time into?
And with that as well, you've got like the 1% of people that, if that content that you didn't release didn't help them as well, or, you know, made them think about something that way, you haven't opened it up to them as well. So, you know, any content at the end of the day can help any type of person.
Yeah.
If you're not releasing things because you don't think it's good, you're only going to attract those people that are kind of like you, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
if you release anything as well, and anything, like, you might attract people that aren't like you, and you open a new market as well.
Exactly. And man, I mean, like for me, the reason why you know, I've taken this avenue of business is not only because I like social media and podcasting as well, it's because I actually want to be there for people and be the person that I wish I had when I was younger. A lot of the time, like I'm really harsh on my videos when I'm like spitting advice like to business owners and stuff like that. I'm talking to a version of myself that's either now or former that needed to hear that, because I genuinely do want to help people, you know? And like past helping my parents, of course, that's my number one priority, I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, the best feeling in business, best feeling is being able to help someone. There is no better feeling for me, honestly.
No, you get those fuzzies in your chest and everything, don't you?
Yeah, for
Ta-
sure.
Talking about YouTube as well, go back to that. Do you use any other platforms to release things as well?
So, I use Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, and I basically just repurpose videos, which a lot of business owners should do, man. They should make one short form content or long video, but cut it into short form content, post it on TikTok, repurpose it to Instagram Reels, repurpose it to Facebook Reels. That means 5 seconds of your day. Let's say on average you get 3K views on each platform, or even less, even. That's 9K views watching your product for 5 seconds. For 5 seconds of your day, or like 15 minutes of your day. The ROI on that is ridiculous. If your product is good, you'll convert. If your product sucks, you won't convert. It's not the social media's problem, it's your product. You know? Yeah. What platforms do you use? I've heard, like, I think you're on Spotify as well, right?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Nice, yeah.
Want to go into more, but like happy with those, and YouTube. We just started YouTube last week.
How many shorts are you making a day? Come on, James.
Not enough.
You got to make 3 a day.
I know. I need to start doing because I only just started recording videos and stuff now too with the podcast.
Right. Yeah.
I found it hard to find a good platform that I was liking.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like I like editing apps, if that makes sense, but it's hard finding the right one that was working.
Yeah.
What do you use?
So we're using Discord right now for these camera and mic. I use Discord, and then I record on Streamlabs OBS, and I edit the videos on CapCut on PC. But I've used DaVinci before, but I'm trying to learn CapCut PC because it's like the easier version, and I learned it on the phone. So that's all I use. I don't use any like extra software or anything like that.
So talking about Discord, so this records the conversation automatically, or?
Nah, I'm recording my screen as we're talking.
Okay, you're recording your screen, and that's what you do with all your videos?
Yeah, I was using Zoom before. That was awful. So Discord it is. Don't use Zoom for a podcast. That shit is awful.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. Would you say Facebook's better than Zoom then, or?
I don't know. How do you record a podcast? Is there a podcast feature on Facebook?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay, no.
No.
No, I wouldn't recommend. I'd recommend everyone just getting Discord, to be honest.
Discord?
It's unlimited. Yeah, it's free. Camera quality doesn't get impacted. Mic quality you could increase, you could change. Like it's the best. It's the best product, I reckon.
And then
what do you?
What am I using? I've downloaded this. Well, right now I'm just using Discord, but then I put it through some software.
Right.
I put it through. It's a Dutch company. I can't remember. It's like a Movie Eye or something. But I bought the 2023 version. Because I was like, oh, fuck it. Because I was using other things to match up the audio, like Soundtrap and things like that. And I was finding that those platforms they cost a bit too much, like monthly and things like that. So I was like, I'm gonna own a software forever, and then being able to use it, create good files, match up things through AI. What's pretty handy as well. So then, I can have my mic system going through the podcast video instead of a phone recording, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. No, it does make sense. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just sounds better all round. Because I'm recording off an iPhone as well in the corner, but iPhone like quality sucks dick, man. Yeah. So
it's not nice to have in your ears, especially if you like post it on Spotify and viewers are listening, that type of thing. Yeah.
And then it's just like very croaky and things like that.
Yeah.
So definitely got an upgrade now. What's good as well.
Yeah. Nah, man. And you know what? To everyone watching, we're talking about softwares and stuff like that, but all you need to start creating content is an iPhone. If you're scared to create content and you're making 10 million different excuses, now this is different. You've invested into it, right? But for people, they're just starting. Like, they're just starting to look at a camera and start talking. They need to know that iPhone quality is fine to start. To start, it's completely fine, People shouldn't shy away from it just because they're scared of how it's going to look. I'm scared you're never going to record a video in your whole fucking life.
Oh, no, I'm scared for them as well. But the good thing is too, like with your iPhone and stuff too, like you go on Instagram, TikTok, sometimes I just use their like creation in their apps that they've got too to edit, like, you know, clips and things like that. They've got some pretty cool stuff on there, and like you could just make some pretty cool videos just through those like, you know, those applications as well. Some
For
of
sure.
the videos that go viral, you know, on like TikTok, Instagram, and things, they're just little like clips that are edited off their phone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just do it and fucking don't give a fuck. That's what I got to
Yeah.
say as well. What's really important.
Yeah.
Talking
And oh
you
yeah, like I'm not taking a shot at the quality of your stuff. It's just more so people are listening and they're like, "Fuck, I need a brand new mic to start. I need two cameras to start." But you don't, because I started on an iPhone, and I'm sure you started on shitter quality than you have now. So they need to know that.
Yeah, I started on this mic that I put in front of me, and I'd have
Yeah.
two people talking on the same mic, and it would have sounded like pretty ass. But like I said to you, I did it just to see if I'd enjoy it and put myself out there. And fucking,
Yeah.
I'm still quite new to the game and things like that. I've only really just started still. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and like I just want to keep doing. Like it just makes me happy. Like
It does.
yeah, I you know come home from, you know, like you said, I'm 9 to 5 and spend. I could spend 5 hours and it feels like 10 minutes sometimes, and
Literally.
I'm like fuck. I wish I could have just spent like 15 hours doing this today. What would be awesome to be able to do, you know, one day and things like that. And sometimes people do just take those leaps and just, you know, go do it. But I do enjoy having a bit of a balance as well in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
In going to work and things like that. You know, just I do still enjoy being, you know, working somewhere else, but maybe there'll become a time where I'm not enjoying that anymore as well.
Mm.
I always say do what makes you happy, and be happy at what you're doing as well. So
Yeah, I mean, man, we are sold in this life that money is more precious than time, but time is more precious than money. So if you're doing something that you don't enjoy and you're selling your time for money, you're actually not doing cost effective. It's a bad exchange, right? But when you're trading your time for enjoyment, it's the most cost effective trade in life ever.
yeah, speaking about mindset now as well,
Yeah.
becoming an entrepreneur. I'm not one, but
Yeah.
you're not. How when did that start? At what age and things like that as well?
Yeah, sure. I mean, do you want me to ask you the same question? Because it's always been about me. I just feel like I don't want to be a hog.
No, because this isn't about me. It's about all of this is about you.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure because I'm actually interested, but maybe we can get you on my podcast after.
Yeah, we can organise a time and we can do another pod. I'm happy to talk about myself and have a chat to you
Yeah.
as well, for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. So your question was, how did I start becoming an entrepreneur? Is that what the
Yeah,
question
what
was?
age and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I was younger, my dad's an entrepreneur, my sister's husband's an entrepreneur. Actually, I feel like entrepreneurship runs in foreigners' bloods and like, what's the word? Imports, right? Probably a nicer word than that, but anyway,
We'll go with that. That sounds good. Like if I was an import in a basketball, I'd be the best player in the team. So import's a good word. So we'll go with that.
like imports from other countries come here, and because they worked for people in their country for shit money, they don't know what it feels like to like work for themselves, and they're never given the opportunity to. So they come here, and once they see that they have the opportunity, they take it and they run with it. And I think I saw that a lot growing up. And one thing I noticed is people that had a lot of money but didn't run their own business and worked for people were never happy. And I took note of that growing up as well. And one thing I did very, very young is I prioritized my happiness over everything. It doesn't mean that I didn't make sacrifices and stuff like that, but I didn't work a 9 to 5 at Macca's working under oily conditions or anything like that. I walked up to a butcher shop while the guy was behind, and I told him I want to work at your shop, and he offered me 40 an hour, and I was like 13. So like from the start, I knew that whatever you want in life, you have to chase it to get it. If you settle for less from young, like I mean like from the youngest, if you start settling for less and people reinforce that into your brain, it's gonna happen with everything in your life, with relationships, with living conditions, with business, everything. If you don't actually crave more and you don't know that you're worth more, you'll never get more. So I always knew I was worth more, and I always knew I'm gonna get more.
Yeah, crazy. It's a good way to be a hustler from the get go, isn't it? And just not take any less, and know what you're worth as well, and what
Yeah, I mean,
and what value you can contribute to society and things like that as well. Yeah, you go now.
oh, sorry, because I just wanted to bring up, like, my dad, when I was doing gaming, I was also doing year 12, and he's like, you are not gonna make money. I mean, no one's gonna expect gaming to make money, but Fortnite came out. I was just after Fortnite, right? But Fortnite was like a niche. You couldn't. I was playing a different game, and my dad said, I want you to send all the money to my account. So if it's real, I want to actually see it. My dad's very supportive, but he's realistic, right? And at that time, that's me making money from playing games on my computer. That's not realistic. And then nine to 10,000 got transferred into his account, and that feeling, man, that feeling of proving people wrong and following my head, it just stuck with me forever, because I know my dad did it out of love, and he cares for me. It wasn't like a, you're a fucking idiot, go find a job. It was more like, I'm worried about you chasing that doesn't exist, you know and yeah, that feeling was ridiculous to me.
He wanted to make sure you had the drive and succeed. Like a lot of people say to their family and parents, "Oh, I'm going to be a gamer," but they don't have the motivation to even put the content out. They just tell their parents they're doing something when they're probably not even going out and actually doing anything in general. And then their parents aren't seeing any money, or they're staying at home till they're like 25, and they don't get out of their basement.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what you were gonna do, but that's
No, it's valid, bro. It's valid. Yeah.
like you've got to show that you can't just say you're doing something. You got to show that you're doing something, and that's what you did. You showed him and said, "Look, I'm fucking killing it."
Yeah. Exactly. And bro, you're 100% right. I don't take offense to that. That's facts what you're saying. Whatever your dream is, your work has to match your dream. If you want to be the best entrepreneur in Australia, you have to work as hard as the best entrepreneur in Australia. We all have dreams, including myself, but are we really doing the work that matches the dream that we want? Right? Not really. None of us are, you know? And that's where, like, the kind of our mind and our body says different things all the time. And it's always good to dream big, but we have to be realistic and say, all right, if I'm putting 2 hours into my business a week, is my business going to grow the same rate as my bank account from my 9 to 5? No, it's not. Right. And so, yeah, your words have to reflect to your actions 100% of the time when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. And how do you remain positive? Like,
To be honest, man, I grew up very depressed. I was a very sad kid growing up. I honestly used to use games as my way to, like, escape from my reality. Go launch a game, sit on and, like, just play games for like fucking hours and not think about anything. And I was really depressed. I didn't like seeing people, didn't want to talk to anyone. Financially, things weren't good at home, so my parents were constantly fighting, and it just wasn't a good environment to be in. But one thing that really saved me is, one first thing is God. Obviously, I am a Christian, and I really feel like God saved me out of that dark place. I don't think anyone could have got me out of that place. My best mate passed away when I was really young, and it was that point where my life turned. My best mate died in a car accident, and I couldn't I couldn't comprehend life anymore in the same way that I was, like, because I was already depressed, and this hit a new level. This hit a level where it was like, what's the point anymore? If we're all gonna end up like this, what's the point? And that's where I feel like through God I found gratitude, and gratitude is what keeps me smiling every day. Gratitude is the like the singular thing that has led me to the most happiness I've ever had in my life. So happy to the point where people know me, and this is crazy. Like, imagine younger me hearing this. People know me as the happy person in the room all the time, always happy, always upbeat, and always uplifting. But my life isn't like something's good happening 24/7. But bro, like, I wake up, and the first time I take a breath when I wake up, I think of the people that aren't breathing. And the first time I drink water, I think of the people that don't have water. Like, I am grateful to the absolute maximum, so that even something as small as this, like this podcast, you inviting me on, you reaching out to me, like this will make me go home, like go to sleep happy. You know what I mean? Because I know there's people dying to be on a podcast where people are interested in what they have to say, and I'm given this God-given opportunity. You know what I mean? So like I'm just 24/7 happy, man. Like I look above, there's a roof over my head. I got food. Like what more could I want in this life, you know? That's what keeps me happy.
So when something bad happens, you just
Mm.
think of those good things.
Exactly. Like I every single time something bad happens, I straight away think of something worse that could have happened that didn't. You know? And knock on wood, but like people I love passing away is the scariest thing of life. I don't know what I'd do in that situation. I wouldn't be as positive because there's no like outcome to that. There's no good outcome to that. You know what I mean? So for me, I think of that all the time. Did I wake up? Is my family good? You know? Did I wake up? Can I check on this person? Can I check on this person? Yeah, I can. Then it doesn't matter that I lost 10K. You know? It doesn't matter that I didn't get this job. So yeah, always. I there's literally nothing bad that happens to me where I sit there and I like cry over it. Like, bro, something that fucks me up is people that like buy a coffee and then drop it and then say, "Oh fuck, my day's ruined." You know? There's motherfuckers who can't drink water, bro. And you know, you're gonna cry about a coffee for the whole day, right? And it's crazy. It's because we're so blessed. We don't actually know the value of our blessings because we have so much of it. That's
You,
the problem.
you want to know a funny thing going on about? I actually spilled the coffee as we were speaking.
Fuck.
But
But like it's natural. It's natural for us to like say fuck this, bro. This is the fucking worst day
that
ever.
was in like the first 2 minutes, but I was like, I don't want to be a fucking negative Nancy. Let's just get on with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. So everything's sticky and stuff over here, and so that's why I'm kind of adjusted now.
You're like, fuck it, we need this to end. My carpet's getting dirty. But no, and like genuinely, bro, I don't think people realize, like, I forgot the percentage, but the chances of being born is like for winning the lottery 4 times. So the fact we're here, that's enough of a blessing. That means we have a purpose to be here. We beat all the other people in the race. And then to be born in a country that has access to clean water, that's very rare. It's not like extremely rare, but it's rare. There are people that didn't get that. So like I feel like, man, too many blessings corrupts. The saying is absolute power corrupts absolutely. We feel like we have all the power in the world because we have access to all these things. But imagine we got them taken away from us and how different we would act. That's how I act on a daily basis, as if I don't have everything.
It's a good way to be as well, and it shows the value of who you are as well as a person. So kudos to you, man. You're an absolute legend from only knowing you for such a short time as well.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I just think, yeah.
Do you have any videos on mindset?
A lot of my videos are about mindset. One video I made, which, and I hope they're watching this because I'm just gonna speak direct here. I had 2 friends, both of them, and I have a very small circle. Like right now, I have one friend.
Yeah.
One friend checks up on me regularly. That's it. Other than that, it's my family and my cousins. That's it. One friend. Before that, I had 2 other friends, both on which I knew for like one for like 8, 9 years, and the other for like 10, 11 years. And I released a video of a girl complaining, like a reaction to a girl complaining about school and how the HEX fees are too much, right? And how she could never buy a house and she's forced to quit work to focus on education and blah, blah, blah. And I reacted to the video and I'm empathetic, right? I understand where they're coming from. Fees are fucking crazy right now, cost of living, blah, 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 whatever. But me coming from Lebanon, where people are actually struggling to go to school, where parents are having to choose between filling up petrol in their car or sending their kids to school, and me watching that video, I had to comment on it. I had to say something like, you are blessed with the opportunity that the government is paying for your education, and you're crying about the repayments on it. And I don't like the words, like when no one in Australia can use the word forced. We're not forced to do anything. Bro, I could sit in my bed, and I did when I was younger, sit in my bed for hours doing nothing with my life and live off Centrelink, and I will be completely fine. and I will live the most normal life. You wouldn't even be able to tell. And people are sitting there like, I'm forced to go to work full time. I'm forced to quit education to focus on work. No, you're not. You can't live humbly. People can't live humbly anymore, and they use that as a reason to complain. Bro, if people wanted their goals as much as they wanted, they would sell their 80 grand car and put it into what they want. You know? They wouldn't go to every concert that comes out. They wouldn't buy the newest iPhone every single time. Like, it's fucking crazy. So yeah, I made a video and I spoke about it. And I said, why is a woman in such a privileged position in Australia complaining about education while there's people on the other side of the country who can't even pay for their education? The government is paying for your whole thing, bro. Like, isn't that crazy when you think about it in that perspective, bro? Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, fuck. People just don't think sometimes before they post and things as well, do they? And people love complaining because it gets people on their side as well in the short term. Makes them feel like they're winning if people jump on the bandwagon with them as well. What I was going to... You go.
Yeah, like, I just want to clarify. I don't disagree. Cost of living is fucked. The government is probably designed to keep us all at a level. Social media probably isn't good for us. But guess what? We choose what we want to consume. We choose that we want to stay at the salary we're at while the cost of living goes up. While the cost of living goes up, you don't go try and find a new job. That's on you. Being complacent with your conditions, it means accepting. The default is accepting. The non-default is declining and changing, right? So when I see people like complaining about the cost of living, but they were just getting by before that, it doesn't matter. You weren't doing any better back then. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But anyway, I lost a lot of friends for that video. Like, I mean a lot. Like, I mean, people are like, you don't understand. It's so hard going to school and, you know, having to pay it off, these HEX debts, and, like, you know, the cost of living keeps going up and blah, blah, blah. And it's not like I didn't disagree with them, but I said, what have you been doing different in your life to change that? Why do you have a Louis Vuitton bag in your profile picture complaining about money to me? Like, what the fuck? Ridiculous.
Do you have any videos you want to show us?
Any video? I mean, that video would show. How would I show it?
I'll show it for you.
All right, sweet. What do I do? Do I send it to you on Instagram?
Yeah, just send it through Instagram and I'll get up on the laptop. Because you can do that while Discord's on, I think, can't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll get it on my phone.
And then I'll have to dim the lights and get a bit cute, so...
Don't drop another coffee.
Oh, no, I'm definitely not having another cup. I'm a bit nagged out about that, but it's not the end of the world, so... I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make a video about it and you can comment on it and complain, so... No, joking.
No, I will, though. I will. Do it. Alright, I've sent it to South Island AU.
Right, give me a second.
Yeah, man. And I don't care, like, bro, I'm willing to lose people for my opinion.
It's not working, is it?
I can't hear it.
Nah, that's all right. I've got another way to...
Yeah, all good. Every single government benefit, that means she doesn't have to pay her tuition fees.
Sorry, we'll start again. We'll go now. Yeah. We're going to go again. Here we go.
I've been forced to drop out of university because I simply can't afford to keep studying.
Stop right there. Imagine this. A kid in like Lebanon or a third world country watching an Australian white woman complain about the schooling system and how expensive it is, while she gets access to every single government benefit that means she doesn't have to pay her tuition fees until she gets a stable job. Imagine a person who's literally forced to do something in a country where they don't have rights, hearing an Australian woman who has the freedom to do whatever the fuck they want say that they're forced to quit education to work a full-time job. How about living a little bit more humbly within your means, and then you won't need extra fucking money while doing an education?
I've been forced to drop out of university because I simply can't afford to keep studying.
Stop right there. Imagine this. A kid in like Lebanon or a third world country watching an Australian white woman.
Sorry, we're just going again and again. We just want to get the message out there.
What what are your honest thoughts? Honestly, James, I know I'm on a podcast with you, but if you're against me, I'm like completely fine with that. You know, I like that people could be against each other, but not block each other and just be like, you know, civil about it.
I mean, people struggle in their own way. If that makes them happy, it makes them happy. But yeah, people shouldn't complain about things that we've got. We're very lucky here in Australia compared to a lot of other people. So
Yeah. I mean, look, everyone says like a lot of the comments on that video is that pain is subjective. That's fine. All right. I'm fine with everyone saying that. But then why do you compare yourselves to other people when it comes to them doing better than us? Right? Everyone is so happy to talk about, oh, I'm not going to compare myself to a third world country in Africa and a kid dying in Africa because that's not me. But then they'll happily compare themselves to Lil Baby who has $3 million chains on his neck. It's the same fucking thing. You know, you're just choosing the negative route so that you can complain rather than choosing the positive route and showing what your blessings are. That's the reality. And it's not accepting that you have struggles. It's actually accepting it but knowing they're not that bad. That's all.
yeah, and you can overcome them as well. And there's ways you got to find out how to solve the problem, not create bigger problems.
Exactly.
It's like you could solve that problem instead of having two problems now, and then
Yeah.
You're not really getting anywhere, and then you're on a ripple effect. If you don't fix problems, they tend to just get bigger and bigger.
100%, bro. 100%.
All right, let's go into another convo now. A bit about Gary V. We wanted to talk a bit about this.
Yeah.
So Gary V, how did you find Gary V?
So the person I started the business with, Shisha at Your Door, which was my first ever business, he introduced me to Gary V, and I was a complainer. I am the people that I make videos about nowadays. I was them, right? Complained about everything. I hated my life. I said there was no way out. I can't do shit. So when I watched Gary V and he told me I'm a fucking little bitch, I hated him. Absolutely hated Gary. I could not stand Gary. It took me 2 months. It was after I started my business, 2 months after that, that I just had a switch in life and I realized, wait a minute. I'm angry at him because I'm the people he's talking about. And that's how I found him. So I found him and then I started following his content. I started listening a lot more. And the three things that he taught me: patience, gratitude, and execution. And I mean, this made me money. I'm not saying like overall it made no. I mean, the minute I started thinking in these mindsets, I made instant money. I made instant connections. My life instantly got better because I was patient when I was running a business. I wasn't rushing things and things just kept coming my way. Like, for example, when I left Zoris Media, everyone said I wouldn't be able to do anything because I have a failed media business. I can't do anything with my agency. Literally the day after, someone called me and said, hey, this agency wants to hit you up. They heard you're working by yourself. I said, all right, sweet. Opportunities come to you when you're patient. Gratitude, that's why I'm always positive. I'm accepting everything that comes my way. I'm grateful for every single opportunity. Whether this podcast was in a fucking park that's windy and we had the shittest quality camera, I would be so grateful that you chose me to be on your podcast, you know? And execution, bro, I'm doing it every day. Not as much as I should, but I'm doing it. I really am executing every single fucking day. So yeah, that's where I found out about Gary.
And what's the most important thing you've learnt from Gary V?
It's a good one. I know all I've said is about gratitude, but honestly, bro, like definitely gratitude because like it sounds very cliche. Be grateful for what you have. Fuck, we've all heard that before, but it actually works very well in business. So let's say you get your first client. If you're grateful for that client, you're going to put so much more time in them if you're not thinking, fuck, I wish I had 2 clients, right? But if you're grateful for that one client, you're going to do the extras. You're going to send them a message saying, thank you for responding to my email. This is what I want you to do. Or like, if you're sending them a service, you're going to write a cute message on it. Like, gratitude for every single opportunity that you have and that you lose. So I lose lots of opportunities in my life. Reason being is because sometimes I don't know what I want and I spend so much time thinking about what I want that I lose one, right? But I go back to the fact that I was grateful to have options there when people don't even have one option. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, gratitude in business is the most ROI cost effective. Like, you make real money off gratitude. And I'm not just saying that because like I'm a Gary Vee fan. Like, I mean, I implemented gratitude into my life, into my business, and things just became better. You have a better perspective on life when you know that even the smallest fucking things are opportunities that are given to you for you to like capitalize on.
And meeting Gary Vee for you as well. What did that do to you?
Look, I like people who like, and when it comes to celebrities, artists, you know, influencers, that type of thing. I like people who say they're a man of the people, not above but equal, right? That's the type of people I fuck with. I don't like people that stand tall over people because I don't idolize anyone except Jesus. That's it. You know, I highlight and I think they're all beneficial people to this world, but I don't idolize them. I'm not trying to be the next Gary Vee. I'm trying to be better than Gary Vee. That's what I'm trying, right? So when I met him, it wasn't like oh my god, I'm meeting Gary Vee. It wasn't like that moment for me. For me, it was, oh my god, I'm doing what I said I'd do when I was younger. Cause man, I used to walk around listening to his podcast, and now my voice is featured on the podcast I used to listen to, right? And for me, like, it rewired my brain to like fuck everything I say I'm gonna do, and I actually put time into it. I actually get right. So I went to his conference, and I recorded a vlog of the whole thing. So anything I say is not bullshit; it's all recorded. And I met one of the people he follows on Twitter outside. I think his name's Anthony. Shout out Anthony. And you know, we planned on a way to like meet him. Didn't really work out, but I still didn't give up. I walked up to the platinum booth, and I just told them, "Can I have a platinum ticket?" They're like, "Did you pay for it?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Why should I give it to you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm a big Gary Vee fan," and they all laughed, right? And I don't know why I did it. I just felt like in the moment, maybe just try it, see what happens. Anyway, so I got in, and I snuck into platinum seats. So my tickets were like $200. Platinum seats were $1,300. And I tweeted him, and I said, "When are you coming on?" And he replied to my tweet as well. So anyway, I got on. I was front row platinum seats at this big conference that everyone paid money for, and I was just chilling there with no platinum ticket, nothing. And his team came up to me because all the people that bought platinum tickets, they're all like fucking executives, millionaires. And if you watch the video that I was posted on Gary Vee's official video page, like when I asked him the question, they were all millionaires. Like everyone came up, "Oh, I made 3 million in my business," because no one's gonna pay 1,300 for a ticket, bro, right? Like it's crazy. So his team came up to me and said, do you have anyone else coming? They thought I was a business executive. I'm like, no, I'm all good. Thank you so much, bro. Like my heart's pounding while this is happening. Anyway, so I only platinum seats can go up to ask a question to Gary Vee, and Gary Vee went for question time, and I wanted to get up and ask for it, and I saw someone saw what I did, come down to try to do the same thing, and then get turned back up and said, "You're not a platinum member. You can't ask a question." And that person didn't snitch on me, even though they knew I did it. So anyway, so I got in the platinum seat.
Shout out to that person.
Yeah, straight up, whoever it is, kudos. But I'm in the platinum line, and everyone at the top knows that I snuck in, and they're just watching with fucking pure anger in their eyes. And in my head, I'm all right. What am I gonna ask? But that moment was amazing because I feel like Gary did give me a lot in my life. Like I did not ever take advice from people, put it into action, and see the immediate results the same way I did with Gary. Like my life changed genuinely, like in all aspects, in family, in relationships, in business, in passion, in like caring about what people think, all this shit. My life absolutely changed. So to have a conversation with him, it was more so something like a thank you, you know, like thank you for everything that you've done, you know. And I got up there and I asked him the question, which I knew had no real answer to, but the problem is I'm such a big Gary Vee fan that I have no questions. I know everything he's going to say. There is not one singular question I could think in my head other than the question that I asked that I wouldn't have known the answer to. So I got up on the conference page thing, like, you know, on the mic, 1,300 people watching, and or 2,000 actually, 2,000, 2,500. And I said, you know,
Should we have a listen?
Yeah, it's a bit long, but we can. It's a bit long. I'm happy to.
How long does it go for?
think like 10 minutes. We can listen to the first few minutes.
Let's do that.
All right, I'll send you the video. You want me to commentate over it while it's happening?
Yeah, let's go with that as well.
All right, sweet. Okay. It's on YouTube. Can you put it up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Which one is it?
I'll send you the link.
Is it what it means to be made a fool of? Is that the one?
Nah, what's that? Is that my video?
Yeah. Oh no, that's another one. Sorry.
Don't get me confused. There's only one of me. All right, I'll send it to you. Hang on.
Is it how I got roasted by Gary V?
Yeah, how I got roasted by Gary V at the Melbourne Mindset Matters conference.
Yeah, and I'll play. Do I play a bit into it as well?
Yeah, so you want to start playing it at about where's here?
I want to go
11:42.
11:42.
Yeah, 11:42. Yep, perfect.
Hey, brother.
So my name is Mark. I'm 22 years old. Firstly, I am vlogging this, so can you say hi to my vlog? Because they told me I wouldn't be able to say hi to you.
Vlog, what's good?
Thank you, Gary, and thank you for tweeting back at me. Best day of my life. So I've been watching your content for a while, and I love everything you talk about: patience, gratitude, and execution, and I live by it. I'm 22, and I taste test everything, and I lead into curiosity. My problem is with patience, and it's not because I want $1 million, and it's not because I want to make it. It's because this Monday I'm going to be relaunching my dad's business. Okay, I found I love social media, whether it's like advertising or being an influencer or things like that. And I'm relaunching my dad's business, and I'm happy to be patient and do it patiently. But like I don't understand how to be patient when my family's health is deteriorating.
Sure.
Right? Like I have a deep love for my parents. I don't give a fuck how much money I make. I really want to make it for my parents. I really don't care. Like we've been renting for so long. All I want to do is make it for them. I don't care about the.
So sorry, it's a bit loud over your voice. So just repeat.
No, we can watch it and then I could talk about it if you want.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Money for myself. How do I lead into patience?
Yeah, this is this is a very common question because I talk about patience a lot, and this framework. I get a lot of questions about like, Gary, that's fine and dandy, but my mom is terminally ill and she's gonna be gone in less than 2 years for sure. And you can't tell me patience, I have to make it before she goes.
Yeah.
And I say to that person, this is incredibly challenging. I'm so sorry. This is the worst, fuck. I'm devastated. But you being impatient and taking shortcuts is not gonna create the thing you want anyway.
Okay.
I'm giving you the answer to the following.
Yeah.
As their health deteriorates, so what do you, like, talk it through logically for me.
Yeah.
Building anything meaningful takes time.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do differently?
That's-
Like what's gonna happen? You think there's a shortcut? You think I'm gonna tell you some trick? You think I'm gonna give you a tidbit that, like, it's just not how it fucking works.
It's just like, you know, I know you talk about, you know, you gave up your 20s to like live out your dreams and stuff like that. Like I've done the same.
No, you haven't.
I don't,
No, you haven't. You haven't.
no, but I've given up a lot, right? Like I've
What? But you didn't give up. You just said I've given up my 20s. You're 22. You haven't started.
Yeah, but like I don't go out. I don't lean into that
That's
stuff.
good.
You know? I lean into doing things that I enjoy rather than like going for things that have instant gratification,
Well,
right?
hold on. You just said you lean into things that you enjoy.
Like that make me happy.
Well, then you didn't give up shit. Sounds like you're being selfish.
You're giving up going out, things like that.
But you don't like that anyway. You like this more. So what the fuck did you give up?
I guess that's true.
Okay, so thank you.
I guess that's true.
But I want to help you here. This is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
You didn't give it
I
up.
reckon let's stop it here.
So keep going.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, that video, if you don't know Gary V, like, I clickbaited the fuck out of this video. I'll be completely honest. I'm not a massive clickbaiter, but I clickbaited the fuck out of this video because anyone that doesn't know Gary V is, you're his biggest fan. You've been posting about him, and the moment you met him, I knew what I was walking into with that question and what I said. It's not like I did it on purpose, but it's the way that I said it wasn't right. So, you know, when I said I can relate to you, it's because earlier on in the conference, he got asked, how did you build $1 million businesses, right? And he said, all I ever thought in my head was about growing my dad. That's exactly how I thought when I was younger, you know? And growing up, I did sacrifice a lot, you know? And I don't, like defending myself against like comments and stuff like that, but I feel like, you know, it's good for me to explain what I mean. Like when I was younger, I never turned to quick fixes or anything like that. I've never taken drugs. I never was, you know, alcoholic. Went through a little bit of a clubbing phase, but like not really. I really gave up a lot. I gave up, you know, my party days. I gave up going on holidays. I gave up a lot to be in the position that I was in. And when he spoke about, you know, be like owning a wine company and then delivering wines to the people who are about to leave on holiday, that's me right now while people are leaving to Europe, bro. And I'm sitting here in this podcast. You know, like I sacrificed a lot growing up to be able to do this. Like shisha at your door took my life away, bro. Like I mean, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. eat in the car, didn't spend time with family. Like I sacrificed so fucking much. And I'm not complaining about it. Trust me, it was my own choice. I decided I wanted to sacrifice. But I felt like I could relate to him because all I've ever wanted was to put my parents on. And I didn't do all the things that normal children would do. I didn't do any of that. You know, I didn't go out on holidays. I didn't do anything. I literally just worked, worked on my business, cut people off that were negative, and really just focused in on exactly like what I wanted to do. And it's easy. Like he said to me, you know, you didn't sacrifice anything because you like this more. Yeah, I like business more, but fucking oath, I'd rather be in the club with bitches doing fucking, doing like whatever I want, you know, not thinking about any of this. Fucking oath, I'd prefer it. Life would be a lot easier, you know. But I chose to do all of this because I like it and I sacrificed for it, you know. And I didn't really get my point across like there, but you know, the rest of the video is really good too.
Yeah, so if you got to go check it out. We're not going to play
Yeah.
the rest of it. We're going to leave it on a cliffhanger. But yeah, go check it out. I think you guys would really get a lot out of it, and go check all his videos out. It's, you know, you'll get a lot out of just watching videos in general, and it might open up a different thought that you didn't think before as well. What's important as well. It's good to see different perspectives and things as well. Even if you don't agree with it, like you said before, it's good to be able to have a healthy chat instead of just being, you know, two sides to every, you know, story as well.
100%. Like it's not full-time fucking Karen. You can disagree with someone and still be their friend. Anyone that's in my circle, I'll be honest, they have to disagree with me because my opinions are very outlandish, bro. Very outlandish. And I know, but I need people that understand how to have real conversations to be able to be in my life, or else I can't have them in my life. That's just how it is. And I'm happy to make that sacrifice because at the end of the day, all you have is your word. That's the only thing valuable, really. And if you can't say that because you're scared, then what really do you have?
True.
Yeah.
Now, spoken very well today, man. Do you want to say anything else about the Gary V as well, or you're happy?
Yeah, I mean, like what I asked him was, you know, how do you be patient when your family's health deteriorating? And knock on wood, bro, my family's health is all good. Like my mom's good, my dad's good, you know, they're both very healthy. My dad did have a stroke, like, you know, a few years ago. I think I don't even want to remember it, but like it was a year ago or two, I'm not sure. And that really put things into perspective. And, you know, the problem for me now is how do I make my parents' life better? Because if I do things that are good after they're gone, it doesn't really matter to me. I only want to do it for them. I actually don't care about it for myself. And he didn't really have a real answer to it because there is no real answer. Death is like its own niche. It's not something that, you know, it's just comprehensible. And so I think one thing that, you know, he like I got from what he said was, what am I actually going to do? And I set out a plan of what I'm going to do. But, you know, there's heaps of ways of being impatient that I've avoided. Like, for example, buying followers, you know, clickbaiting stuff, selling fake shit, like so many things that give you quick money to change your situation. But are you going to be happy doing them? You know? And so I guess after the conversation with him, and I had the opportunity to promote my dad's business because, you know, it's the perfect formula and it's the one everyone followed. Sob story. I love you, Gary V. Here's my business. Invest in it. You know, I really fucking valued that moment that I didn't want to do it. And it probably would have changed my life if I did. Maybe going back I would, but man, I really value the like connections. I value personal time with people. And even though there were 3,000 people watching, and even though like it wasn't the conversation exactly that I wanted, I valued my time, you know? And so I didn't want to spend it promoting. It's just I didn't want to. I went against myself. I decided before I even went up that I'm not gonna promote my dad's business. Even though he pushed me to do it, I can't do it. Couldn't do it. I don't want the easy way out.
You wanna earn it as well.
Yeah.
It'll be better if you earn it as well. You know what I mean? And you know that the grind as well. You know the hustle and the grind. I think make things more enjoyable when you do get there. If it's always easy, you're not gonna appreciate it as much as if it was so hard. So yeah, going that extra distance, man. When you do hit those, you know, targets and things that you want, and when you do finally make it like help you know your mum and dad and make their life easier, the feeling you're gonna have is gonna be something else.
For sure, man. And at the end of the day, you have to fall in love with the grind, not the outcome. You know? So that's what I try to do.
Yeah, correct as well. Is there anything else, or you happy with that?
Like to end the podcast here.
Yeah. Do you want to go in anywhere else or any other directions?
How long have we been going for?
About an hour and a half. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's the Hozri show, and there was you know, the way Shisha at Your Door ended, which I think two pretty important things. But we don't have to do it. We can edit this part out. I'm happy. Well, it's whatever. It's up to you.
Nah, let's go there real quickly if you want.
All right.
I gotta turn the light on though. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Take.
I made it dark through that video, so half the last 10 minutes you're not gonna be able to see me. But let's get it back on again.
All right. Okay.
Now, one of the things I like about podcasts as well, like it doesn't have to be, you know, it can be just a few seconds of bullshit, like where you're not doing stuff too. That's what I like about It's good if it's not, you know, filtered too much and fixed as well. Then it shows a bit of that anyone can do it as well. I like that normal, real feel instead of it just feeling like it's been edited too much, and then people will probably get a bit scared from trying to do something themselves.
Yeah, for sure. I prefer authentic, real conversation. Honestly, I value it a lot, you know? All right. Well, I want to talk about how I ended Shisha at Your Door. So I'm going to go live on Instagram as well, because this will be a good sneak peek. Because I get asked this question all the time, and I've never said it, ever said it publicly before. So I think, you know, finally, I think it's time to talk about it. So Shisha at Your Door was ridiculous. Like, no one had ever heard of it in Australia. The advertising was crazy. We were coming up with, like, we were fighting against the biggest shisha companies in Australia, you know, like actual restaurants. People weren't coming to restaurants for shisha anymore because they were ordering from us. So all these shisha restaurants were having beef with us, you know, constantly trying to, like, you know, put bad names to our mouth and stuff like that so that their customers stop going there. So it was good, and it had a good foundation and everything. So, like, people always ask, why did we stop it out of nowhere? So what happened was we didn't have enough shishas to cater to the orders that we had. Like, we were getting 30 orders a week, and we only had 10 shishas, right? So what we would do is for we'd let people have shisha for one half of the day, go pick it up, clean it, and then, you know, get it ready for someone else on the latter half of the day, right? So it was one night that someone was using it at night, using the shisha at night, and we had to go pick it up from their house. And it was in a dodgy area. I'm not going to say what area, but somewhere in northern suburbs of Melbourne. And I was with my friend and like the person I started the business with. And we drove to the house, and the house looked a little bit sketchy, I won't lie. But we looked at the wrong house, right? So we parked in front of this house that wasn't the actual place that we needed to go, because the house we were trying to go to was the one next to it, right? So we parked in front of this guy's house, and my mate was in the car, and then I walk to the house next to that house to get the shisha, right? And I'm knocking on the door, and I'm like to the guy, like I'm calling him, I'm like, can you come out? Like, you know, we need to get it. We need to go home. It's late. It's about 1, 2 a.m., right? And we started to hear like noises from the house next to us. So we thought maybe they were getting angry. We'll park next to them, right? But we didn't think anything of it. We didn't think it was that bad. So I'm knocking on the door of this guy's house, and I'm like trying to call him, and he's just not waking up. He's obviously passed out or something like that. And it's whatever. He always orders from okay. But I don't know why in this single moment, I think I heard him walking. So I stayed and I tried to, you know, get him. And then my mate called me from the car. He said, hey, like this guy that you parked in front of has his front light on. He has his front light on. And that, like, I feel like that's a reason for us to leave. I'm like, nah, bro, it's chill. Don't worry. I won't be long. Waiting there another 5 minutes. The guy opens his garage door, right? And I'm like, okay, I can hear the garage door. I call my mate. I'm like, what's going on? Like, are you hearing this? And he's like, oh, there's just a guy there. He's big fucking Arab guy, by the way. Big fucking Arab guy. And he comes out, he's standing at the garage door, and I just see him at the corner of my eye. And when I see him, I get straight away bad vibes, like instant bad vibes, right? So I'm walking from the house to my car, parked in front of this guy's house. And as I'm walking, he has a ute in his front. And at the bottom of the ute, I could see a shotgun barrel at the bottom. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this guy's come out with a fucking gun. So I jump in the car, shitting myself, right? And honestly, like, I come from Lebanon. Guns are pretty normal there. So like I was scared, but I knew what to do. So I get in the car, I shut the door, and the minute I turn on the car, I hear the gunshot at our car. And bro, the way I sped off in this moment, and my friend was fucking shaking. Like my friend could not even like speak. He couldn't breathe. For me, I don't know why I just.
Oh shit! We've just gone flat. Oops, he's gone flat. Not good. Give me a sec. We'll be back in a second, guys. I know it's near the end of the podcast. Sorry about that.
What's it cut off?
Sorry, bro. I fucking forgot to plug my laptop in, so it's like on like low percent. It was a big cliffhanger. We fucked your story up a little bit, but let's get back. Yeah, you're zooming off in your car.
Yeah, so I close the door of the car. We hear the gunshot. My mate is fucking shook. Like I mean shook, right? We drive off, and something in my head, bro, I pulled out my GPS. I don't know why. He's like, bro, why the fuck are you pulling out your GPS? There's someone that literally just shot at us. And I just wasn't phased, man. I genuinely wasn't phased. I felt like we were gonna be fine. So then I'm like, all right, let's do a U-turn. Let's go talk to him. He's just trying to protect his home at the end of the day, you know? Anyway, so as soon as I do a U-turn, my mate grabs me by the neck, and he's like, bro, do you not care about my fucking life? Like, I didn't care that you don't care about yours. Do you not care about my fucking life? And so, yeah, we ended up driving off. We didn't call the police on him, so no one could ever call me a snitch. I didn't call the police on this guy. And yeah, my mate was out of that shit. He was like, fuck that. He's like, I'm not throwing my life away for a few shishas. But you have to, I don't know why I did what I did, but that's what actually happened.
Crazy story.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, especially in Australia.
It's common in this area for like certain houses, certain people to have guns. It's very, very common.
It's pretty common in Tassie, to be honest, as well. A lot of people keep them in under their spare tires and things like that.
Like I grew up around pretty shifty people, so I know this guy is just coming outside to protect his home. He thinks he's being robbed. So that's why my instant reaction is, all right, he shot at us, he missed, let's do a U-turn. He's probably reloading the shotgun, let's talk. Bro, because I honestly don't like drama. Even though I'm affiliated with so much, I don't like drama. Especially because we're going to go there every day. I have to fear my life every time I pass this guy's house. Anyway, so that's why Shisha at Your Door ended, because my mate left, and then it slowly fizzled out. That's basically what happened, which was nuts.
Bit sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but I feel like I have no regrets in life, bro, because I'm in this position now that I am in life because of everything that's happened. If anything happened even slightly different, life wouldn't be the way it is today.
And it's created new opportunity and things like that as well. You know, when one door, ends, more opportunity comes as well. Just got to
sure.
grab it with both hands, mate, and keep going. So
That's it. That's it. Should we get into the Hozri show very briefly? Or?
yeah, let's get into the Hozri show and then let's finish there. And I'll tell you something.
Give you a break.
I need to go get some sleep.
Yeah, no, I feel you. All right. No, the reason I wanted to bring up the Hozri show is because I don't think I've had the right way to explain it in a long time. I find it hard to explain because something that I do for me. It's the one thing I do for myself and not for my audience. And one thing I learned about me right now, and the reason I do so much is because I'm trying to do the things that little me would have wanted me to do getting older. All the things that I couldn't do, all the things that I felt when I was younger, I battle them now that I'm older, right? Like I felt weak in life, and now I go gym and I make decisions for people, right? Like now I feel a lot stronger. I was very fearful of how I looked when I was younger. I was not confident. Now I'm very confident, so I post photos of myself that I wouldn't even used to show a soul. That's where my confidence comes from because I face my demons like head on. So the Hozri show for me is telling the story of my life because it was so dark, and now I go to people and like you said, bro, like what did you say? I'm I'm extremely confident, I'm always happy, I'm always uplifting, and I get that all the time and I'm grateful for that. But I think people need to understand that no matter what position they're in, you could actually get to this point in your life. And that's what I want to do through the Hozri show in a long-winded, fucking long distance kind of way. That's basically what I want to do. So, yeah. So, I post photos of me as a child growing up, the worst photos of me possible. And I also, tell the story of my life because my life has been full of fucking drama. So, yeah, I think it's really interesting.
That's very cool. And that's fairly often the Hozri show?
Yeah, every Thursday.
Every Thursday. What time?
6 p.m., 7 p.m., sometimes 9 p.m. if I'm too lazy. But yeah, it's consistent.
Is it live as well?
No, so it's like an Instagram post with a caption. But I was thinking of making it like an Instagram reel. What are your thoughts? Like if I just kind of talk to the camera and tell the story, or maybe no face and just put words.
I think reels are good. I think if you did a reel show, like you're getting out to more people. So
sure.
you're going to get out to your followers you got now, and you're going to get out to different people as well. So I think doing reels is actually a good thing as well. And it's still a post as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you'd prefer to post reels as well because, it's actually better for the Instagram algorithm. But, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about it.
And you could do it on TikTok as well. Do you do You do TikTok? Yeah. Okay, cool.
I do.
Well, I think that's cool. One thing I want to say, what are you doing next week?
Next week.
Next weekend.
Are
you
other than
Are you going to be in Melbourne?
I'm in Melbourne. You want to do a live podcast, don't you?
You can cut. I won't have all my. Oh fuck! I didn't pay for extra luggage. I was going to say I should have paid for my suitcase. I could probably change that actually.
We could do it on my setup.
Yeah.
Where are you staying in Melbourne?
I've got pretty much next to the big station.
Oh, okay, right. So you're in Flinders.
Yeah. Gonna have I've got a 2-bed apartment. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come over. And we could do a live podcast there if you want.
Yeah, I'm down. And we could even just go out for a beer or something if you want.
Yeah, I'll send you everything. I'll get in Friday, Arvo, but yeah, we'll work it out then as well. So and I'll have a little gift for you as well.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. But no, I just want to say a massive thanks. We hadn't really ever spoken. Well, we hadn't till tonight. And I know it's a bit late going on and doing this, but that's what you got to do sometimes to get things done. And you've been extremely easy to have a chat to, and you're just an absolute ripper bloke, and keen to have a beer with you next week and have a yarn as well, and we can go from there as well.
For sure, man. And I wanted to say, out of all the podcasts I've been on, you have been the most prepared. you know, fucking great podcast host. You know your shit. You're authentic. You're real. Lots of influencers, they act nice over text and stuff, and then you get on a show with them, and these motherfuckers are so self-centered. But you're as real as they come, bro. And I'm really glad that we did this. I'm actually looking forward to like meeting you in real life, bro, because you seem like a real motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited, and I'm excited to just grow and keep like as real as I can be as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm quite new, but I'll show you what I'm going to give you next week as well. I mean, next Friday as well, Saturday. Just give me a sec.
Sounds good. And while he's doing that, everyone go follow South Island AU's podcast. If this makes it to the final cut, everyone go follow South Island AU's podcast and follow James on Instagram.
Thanks.
I just plugged you.
Thanks, Matt. So we're going to give you this one.
Hey, that's sexy. Wait, let me show you. Wait, pull it up. Fuck, how do I turn this shit? Hey, I'm repping South Island. I'm gonna wear that in my next podcast.
So that's for you.
Thank you.
The numbers are, it's like a baggy. Do you know what a baggy green is?
No, I haven't heard of it.
So I bet like you're that number on the hat. So that's the guest that you are. So
Right.
So every guest that comes on gets a hat, but I only give the hats to people that have been on the podcast. So you're the number 8th guest. So, but quite new on the new system. So, no, I do appreciate it. Keen to do this again. Obviously, on my podcast eventually in like maybe a year's time or 6 months or whenever new stuff's coming out for you and stuff. I'd be excited for you to talk to everyone and your community as well. I'm excited to have a chat with you as well. So
For sure, bro.
we'll go from that. Thank you very much again.
Yeah, no worries, bro. And like, you know, I know you got like outside circumstances that like, you know, I'm not gonna open here, but like, you know, outside circumstances that stop you from doing this, but you took the time to do it. So like, I really appreciate it, bro. And honestly, very blessed for this opportunity. Thank you, man. Like, genuinely.
And thank you as well. But yeah, I'll see you next week. And we'll go for a chat then as well. So peace out. Thanks, man.
Peace out.
I'll see you then.